This is Witch Weekly Podcast, your weekly podcast for all things Harry Potter, brought to you by your hosts, Jess and Mel. Today we'll be discussing how we discovered Harry Potter, boarding school and general life at Hogwarts through the perspective of Muggleborns and their parents. We'll be bringing you our fan base segment, as well as our regular segments of Random Ships and What If. Today's What If topic, day option for Hogwarts.
Hi, I'm Mel.
And I'm Jess.
And this is Witch Weekly Podcast. This is a new podcast that we actually only conceived today while hanging out and talking Harry Potter as we usually do. So in this podcast, we really want to talk all things Harry Potter, from our own experiences, how we got into the books, the characters we love, to overreaching themes and topics such as teachers at the school, the theme of love, the Ministry of Magic, the magical pets we'll see. We also really want to give a huge shout out to all the Harry Potter fans that are out there.
We love you guys, and this would absolutely be impossible.
Oh, I lost the call, but I think I'm back.
Yep, we're good.
Oh, that was not good. Not a good way to start. Sorry, you were saying, Jess, I'm sure I lost it entirely. Do you want to say what you were saying about we love the fans?
Yeah, we do. We absolutely love you guys. Without you guys, this sort of thing would be impossible. And the fact that we can continue to expand on this universe and share that with you guys, and you can share it right back with us, is just phenomenal.
I think we should give a shout out to Rowling right now for, one, her creation of the universe, and two, her expansion of it, like with Pottermore and her Twitter. Yeah. God, I love her Twitter.
I love you, Joanne. You're very special to me. And
yes.
You're pretty cool as far as things go.
She's pretty awesome. So Jess, I think we should first start with the question of, how did we discover Harry Potter? Do you want to tell me about your discovery of Harry Potter and your other experiences?
Always. I was about 8 years old when I was bought the first 2 Harry Potter books by my parents, and I kind of looked at them and I was like, I don't know what you've put in front of me. I saw the second one, and I could see Harry was hanging out of the car, but in my mind, for some reason, I thought it was a helicopter. And then I read the first book, and I got quite confused because I thought he was living in a cupboard in the kitchen and that his mother had gone out for crackers. I put it down, but I came back to it after a few months, and I was totally hooked. I would read them all night and fall asleep with the books open on my face, and it became no, there's video
we're going to find that video, I hope, and share it with everybody.
Absolutely. I'm snoring and everything.
So I love how you thought his mum had gone out for biscuits and just left him in the cupboard with his aunt.
Yeah, I don't really know what I was thinking. I was like, why is this kid in the cupboard above the counter? Why has his mother gone out for
you
crackers?
Actually thought, okay, I thought you meant like under the counter, but you're talking like up, like he would need a ladder to get up there.
Yeah, that's what really, really disturbed me. I was like, how did he get into the counter? How is he staying in the counter? I was like, why do they keep opening the doors to talk to him? I don't know what I was thinking.
I suppose that's the thing, like we have not having... I kind of think of their house, the Dursleys' house, as a bit of a townhouse. And
yeah,
so
absolutely.
A lot of Australians in general, I think, have, in our generation at least, grew up in single-story houses, maybe the split level, but never with a cupboard under the stairs, so there's no concept of that.
No, and I just moved to Israel, actually, and I just had no idea what that would look like. And all I could think was, why are you in a cupboard? It just seemed completely far-fetched and ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, totally. It would, like, not having that concept of where he is. Like, my last house was a townhouse with a cupboard under the stairs, and...
that must have tripped you out.
Oh, I was so happy. I wanted to live under there. I thought I could, like, roll out my swag.
Wow.
Maybe pay less rent. It didn't work out. I ended up with the biggest bedroom, but I could have totally lived under the stairs. Like, there was the hot water system under there, so I would have kept warm in winter.
Wow. Do you hear this, people? Yeah. We are something. And tell us, Mel, how you came to love Harry Potter. What is it that brought you into this fantastic journey?
So when Harry Potter when it first came to me was right before the first movie. So that would have been 2001 about. Mm-hmm.
Yep, just about.
Just about right around the time the first movie came out. And my brother had been given the books. and my grandmother thought that I would enjoy them. The problem was at that age, I would have been 6, 7,
Mm-hmm.
and I was actually illiterate and I couldn't read. So my grandmother started reading me. I think she read me the first 2 chapters, and then my mum took over, and my mother ended up reading me the first 4 books. But
Aww.
yeah, it was actually quite sweet. It's actually one of my fondest memories with her
Yeah,
of
brings you together. Brings
sit,
people together.
sitting in my bed and she would read me the books. And by the time the 5th book came out, I had learned to read due to my love of Harry Potter. Actually, Harry Potter is what made me want to be able to read so I could enjoy it and reread it.
Yeah.
And we got to the 5th book, and it was just such a big book, and it had taken us so long to get through book 4. So one night she left my room after reading it to me, and I just thought, no, Mum, this is too slow. And I took the book and I started reading it myself and went for it.
Ooh, shady.
Shady, yeah.
Shady.
Totally went behind her back there. She found out, and she was a bit upset, actually. I remember her being a bit upset, but I said, look, I really want to know what happens next to Harry.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's admirable. I get it.
So it was a really good journey. I have so many memories of reading the books and watching the movies, actually. So, as I said, we started reading the book when the first movie came out, and we were taking a while, and it was like the last week it was going to be in cinemas. So, Mum and I decided just to go. We didn't finish the book. I think we were near the end. I think they'd just gone into the trapdoor.
Yeah, yeah.
So when Quirrell was revealed, that was a huge spoiler for us. We were so shocked.
I had already read the book a few times, so I knew what to expect, I think. But I can appreciate that you must have been a little bit stunned. And I know quite a few people who saw the movies and never read the books, and they certainly couldn't see things coming that we could all spot a mile away from just the smallest things.
Are you insinuating that while reading the book, you knew it was Quirrell?
Look, he was always a little shady. I'm just saying.
Uh, there we go. So we're going to officially say that Jessica might be a seer and really read books close. I bet she's now going to tell me she knew that Sirius Black was the mysterious black dog, Lupin was a werewolf, Moody was actually Barty Crouch Jr. She obviously knew it all.
Spoilers, Mel. That's all I can say for you. That's all I can say. I feel like there were some things I saw coming, but not everything.
Yeah.
But we digress. You're being a very diverting Griffin dork at the moment.
So the Ravenclaw's here to try and keep me on track, as you can all see.
Yep, absolutely.
So, staying
Hashtag
on track, what did you just say?
Hashtag Team Ravenclaw. Yep, I went there.
No, of course you did. Well, keeping on topic then, perhaps we should discuss our main topic of the episode, which is starting at Hogwarts, especially, we want to make an emphasis on, as a Muggleborn.
Absolutely. And we touched on this earlier today. We had a brief discussion. And I decided to go away from this and gather some extra knowledge.
Of course you did, because you are the Ravenclaw, and this is why I need you on my podcast.
And because I needed to emphasize to people how weird this whole situation is. I work with children as background for those of you who don't know me. And I was supremely concerned. As a child, all I wanted was to go to Hogwarts. Honestly, I would go today if somebody would let me. But now that I work with children and I'm an adult, it concerns me a little. Okay, get this. There you are, right? On like a Saturday morning, you're sitting at home, you're eating breakfast. Maybe it's French toast. Maybe it's just cereal. You know, the good stuff, cornflakes.
Bacon and eggs.
Cornflakes. Anyways, your dog goes off because the postman's arrived or something, or maybe it comes through the slot in the door, and it's a letter from like to your 11-year-old child. And it's got a wax seal. First off, that's already a little shady. But second, you open it, and one of the first things you see is the word Hogwarts. And then you see the title of a man called Albus Dumbledore, and underneath that is Supreme Mugwump. Okay, I'm already concerned. Okay?
Yeah, it could be a bit concerning. Now, just quickly though, I'm pretty sure the postman doesn't deliver the Hogwarts letters though. They just happen to come with the post or around the same time as the post. So
Yeah, but
perhaps
the
it came.
postman comes up and puts it in the box. Or
What if
through
it
the
came on
cell.
a Sunday?
No, it doesn't. Mail does not come on a Sunday. That's the thing.
Okay,
You're
okay,
incorrect.
okay.
Um, and let it be noted that people with known magical history get their letter by owl because they know to expect it. But you don't want to freak out the Muggleborns or the half-blood parents. And you were correct. There is a special messenger that comes along. What could be worse than some weirdo in robes turning up
Yeah.
on your doorstep?
Just for context here, we don't obviously see it for Harry, but in The Prince's Tale in Deathly Hallows, he says that because Lily is a Muggleborn, they will send somebody around. If I may digress for a moment, Harry was living with Muggles. Yes, we can say Petunia knew the gist of it because of her sister, yada yada yada. But instead of sending someone around in the first instance and
Yeah.
explaining all this, they bomb them with letters for weeks,
Which would
drive them
also traumatize me.
traumatizing, drive them pretty much insane, send Vernon off, taking his family off into this little island, and then, instead of sending someone like McGonagall, who I think would have been awesome at this, they send Hagrid, who is a giant, to
Half
go
a
get
giant.
Harry. Sorry, a part giant. No, that's totally my mistake. A part giant, but still ginormous to any regular human, to go and collect Harry. This was not a good plan.
That was a great plan. That is exactly what I would do.
See, that's weird because I should be going for that. I'm the Gryffindor, you're the Ravenclaw.
And I have all the good ideas. Anyways, that's a
So,
fantastic point. And actually, it is noted that Hagrid is considered to be the special messenger
oh god, that
because
would be
I think they
terrifying.
must have considered not that Vernon was crazy, but I think that they considered that maybe something had happened or Harry wasn't getting the letters in some weird way. I don't know.
Maybe. Okay, but we are going off specific topic. Let's go back to specific topic.
All right.
So, you have received this letter. You are a parent and you have received this letter for your 11-year-old child from Minerva McGonagall, Deputy Headmistress, talking about Albus Dumbledore, Supreme Mugwump, telling you about this school and the list of things you're going to need.
Based off the name Hogwarts, I mean, I'd be calling someone about a scam. um, but yeah, so you've got your shopping list, and generally they do send to Muggleborns someone around to explain it all and to help you go shopping. I checked that out. That is actual factual.
I hope it's McGonagall. Not
I cannot
Hagrid.
imagine McGonagall taking first years and their family shopping. I can imagine Sprout.
Yeah, Sprout would be good. How about Flitwick? He might actually.
Yeah, he would. You know, he would.
Yeah.
He's legit. He's
Yeah.
legit.
And we don't know much about a lot of the other Hogwarts teachers. Like,
No.
you wouldn't send Snape. That would just be traumatizing.
Oh, I would send Snape, but it would be purely to antagonize. So
Antagonize Snape or the family or both.
oh, a little bit of both.
You could be Dumbledore. 10 points to Dumbledore.
Yep, 10 points to me. Okay, so you've got that all sorted. First off, I'd have reservations about sending my child to a magic school. But they demonstrate the magic, you know, it's all good, checks out.
It's
Now-
legit. They can do magic.
Yeah. Now, what concerns me is that there is no immediate alley for us to go check out the school. You just put your kids on the train, the Hogwarts Express.
I think we've skipped a step.
Have we?
Diagon Alley.
Oh, yeah, look, that's an anxiety attack waiting to happen.
Taking the. I presume you could, because you're not going to take the family every year, you would take the family in the first instance. So it's mum, dad, the kid, maybe the little brother, if he's lucky, gets to traipse along. And
Probably would.
you would take them through the leaky cauldron. I don't think that's too. Actually, no, it's not too confronting. It's a bit weird, the leaky cauldron, you know.
Yeah.
Lots of people in robes, lots of old people with long beards, lots
Yeah.
of strange fashion. But then you go to a brick wall that opens.
Yeah, you tap it a few times. Do
Yeah.
you take like a little photo or a video so that you can remember?
Yeah. Well, these days you probably could on your iPhone. I don't know how much magical warding they have on Diagon
No,
Alley.
you know what? It's yeah. We'll come back to technology,
Yeah.
actually. But okay, so you do that. You get in. There's lots of people in robes. There's lots of shops with weird things. Nocturne Alley. Imagine stumbling down that.
Whoops. Yeah, that would not be a pleasant experience.
As McGonagall frowns into the void, going, get back here.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is why you have a escort with you for the first instance. Would they do it in groups? Like, it depends, I suppose, how many Muggle-born children are there. They take groups of families, like
she's
5
standing
families?
up the front, holding the knot of a rope, and everybody has to hold onto the rope, and you can't let go. Just walk along.
I'm wondering who works in childcare here.
Hey, it's a legitimate option. Okay?
Yeah. So,
all right, so
go through Diagon Alley buying all this weird stuff, and they have to convert their money.
I was about to say, yeah, you got to go to Gringotts. Oh, lovely.
Yeah, there is actually on Google a conversion rate. I don't think it goes to Australian dollars, which is annoying, but there is actually a conversion thing for money, and I think that is brilliant.
Well, now we're just so inclusive. You know, that's good. So, okay, so you've done that. You've got your money, you've got your things, you go home. Next, you've got to find platform
9 3/4.
I'm just having a moment here as I'm imagining them staring at the wall. Okay, so you go to platform 9 3/4.
They probably wrote instructions, but hey, can Muggles go through when it's like, can they go through,
yes.
or is it only magical people?
Muggles can go through.
If so, what would happen if a Muggle just walked along during this very special time before the train leaves, and not paying attention and ran into the wall or leant against the wall? Do they fall through onto platform 9 3/4?
I think you have to be intentionally trying to get there. Otherwise, the Ministry would just come and obliviate them. Okay.
Good old obliviate.
Yeah. So okay, so you go through the wall, and yes, you can, because think about it. Hermione Granger, her parents went through, and they're Muggles.
Oh yeah, I forgot that they actually went through. Of course they did.
Yeah. So there you go. So that solves that problem.
Yeah.
So you're on this platform. You have to say goodbye to your kids. Where does the train go? Nobody tells you.
Yeah,
it's going to Scotland.
Yeah, but they don't even say that in the letter.
I know. This is shady.
Harry kind of works it out. I think in the books that's somewhere in Scotland.
I feel like Hagrid tells him as well.
Yeah.
And his accent might give it away.
But overall though, you don't know where they're going. You don't know how to get to Hogwarts as a Muggle.
Yeah, and even if you got there, you can't say it.
Yeah, it's got all that Muggle warding and everything.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm alarmed already. They want me to put my child on a train with a bunch of other weirdos to go to Scotland. Not that I know that at this time, but if I knew it was Scotland, I'd be very alarmed. And I would say no. All right. They're on the train. Choo-choo. You get there. You're in Hogsmeade. You arrive in Hogsmeade.
So now we're looking at the perspective of a child.
Yeah.
Because all this has been fantastic so far for the kid. Like,
yeah, they think it's great. Just
they think it's great. They've got their parents are there. Their parents are kind of worried, but it's so exciting. You know, kids don't always pick up on worry when if they're excited, they don't see the danger, and they've had like McGonagall or Sprout or whoever with them, and it's all been cool.
Or but Dumbledore, even worse, he's built it up like a fun factory, but it's really misery.
But now they're alone. They might have made a friend on the train if they're.
Well, they might not have.
Well, they might not have. Like, imagine not making a friend. And
I always make friends.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at making friends. I found you.
Yeah, you did. Anyways, so you get off the train and there's Hagrid, and you're just like, what is that?
Yeah.
Well, it's Hagrid. And he's like, get in this boat. No way, I'm not kayaking across any loch, thanks. It's not happening. But, that's what you got to do.
Yeah, and no life jackets or anything. Like, what if you can't swim?
God forbid someone told them about the giant squid on the train.
Oh, yeah, that... Didn't Colin Creevy's brother fall in and the giant squid took him back out onto the boat?
It just wouldn't surprise me if any Creevy brother had that happen to them.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it happened.
We'll check that out later.
Yep.
All right, so you go across the lake, or even worse, you're on a death carriage.
If you've seen Death, you can see the horses.
Yeah, skeletal, fleshy. All right. Either way, you get up to Hogwarts, and there you're met by McGonagall, who is no longer the smiling picture of warmth, but is a cold Scottish McGonagall. And she's like, all right, into the hall you go, you're going to be sorted. They're like, what are you talking about? Opens the doors, there's everybody in this hall staring at you. all right, I don't know about you, but I'd be bright red and I'd cry. I'd be like, nah, no way. I'm not walking out in front of anyone.
Can we go back before, you know, we talk about sorting, like they don't know what sorting is in a lot of the cases. They might get lucky
Yeah.
and a nice older student would tell them the truth, or you could have the Weasleys who tell you got to wrestle a troll.
Yeah, that would also trigger me. I would be like, done.
Yeah, like
Bye
they've got no
forever.
idea how sorting works, unless I believe, did Hermione know because she read Hogwarts of History? You'd think she
Yeah.
did.
Yeah, I feel like that happens. Or maybe it was explained to them, but maybe they've forgotten. Like, does it matter?
Well, Harry didn't know, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, but
Because,
Harry didn't read his books because he's a little brat.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so you're in this hall, surrounded by all these students. There's the teachers up at the front, and there's this stool with a hat on it. And McGonagall leads you up and says, "We're going to sort you." And then the hat starts singing.
Yeah, nah. And have you seen that hat?
It's pretty manky.
It looks like a meth addict spilled something on it, and now it's singing. It does. It does. It's very spooky. And they're like, put this on your head. I'd be like, what diseases does this carry? I'm sorry, no. And that was worn by Godric Gryffindor. And, you know, lice was very common back then. Do you know what's worse than lice? Magical lice.
Would, I was going to say, can the lice survive in the hat
Yes,
for thousands of years?
off meth and happiness.
Okay, but McGonagall has, you're so scared that when McGonagall says your name, you just march right on up and let her put the hat on your head.
Say no to McGonagall, I dare you. Like, what are you gonna do? She's like, time to put this hat on your head. I'll be like, no thanks, I'll toss a coin. She'd knock you into the next century.
Yep.
Okay, no way. But yeah, so everyone's looking at you. Also
Well,
my worst nightmare.
you're lucky. I'm not going to say your last name, but your last name is near the end of the alphabet.
That's
unlike
almost worse.
unlike mine, meaning I would be one of the first ones up there.
Yeah, you're sorted into Gryffindor anyways.
Yeah, I'm fine. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm sorted into Ravenclaw, which is no surprise. But yeah, so you trot off to join your house. Just because they're clapping, it doesn't mean they're your friends.
No,
So that's bad enough. And you eat some nice food.
that appears magically before you. Let's just point out there was no food there when you sat down.
Yeah, and if you look up, you're going to be flinching because you're going to see candles. And candles drip wax.
I'm pretty sure those ones don't, but it is a legitimate fear if you think about it until you
Yeah.
realise they don't. And
Okay,
you can
yeah.
see the sky. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's weird, but you get over it. You eat some food. You know, your carb load. And, you know, then the headmaster's like, we're going to sing the school song. For anyone who has heard the school song, it's kind of ridiculous. And let me remind you, it doesn't have a set tune. You just sing the tune you want. The Weasley twins favour the funeral march.
Which I think is brilliant.
So do I. Now I can't sing it in anything else.
I can sing it all different ways. I love singing the school song.
That's because you're a Gryffindor and you're filled with pep and enthusiasm.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah, that's you. But, so that happens, you go up to bed, okay. We need to address the other big issue, which is how you get into your common rooms.
Oh yeah, I'm fine. I just get told a password. I just got to have a good enough memory to remember a password. I can do that.
Yeah, but you also have to go talk to a moving painting. And sometimes she's not there.
Yeah, she does have a bad habit of vanishing when she's kind of needed.
Yeah. And let me put it to you this way. This has already been a very big day.
Yeah, I can hear sirens.
It's definitely my fault, guys.
You better start running.
No way. Ew. That's cardio. Anyways, so yeah, you go to the portrait and you're like, all right, password, you're in. Simple. Gryffindor's got it pretty easy.
Yeah.
I figured out what the Hufflepuffs have to do today. They have to go find a fake barrel and tap the rhythm of Helga Hufflepuff on it.
That's really easy.
Yeah, and it dumps vinegar on you if you're not a Hufflepuff.
Oh, it knows. Okay, I was about to say, I could totally break into there, but
We could all
apparently
break
not.
in. Well, actually, I'm not sure if it's just that or if it's if you tap it wrong.
Okay.
But either way, could you imagine being a first year and like the second day you tap it wrong?
And yeah, vinegar's got quite a stench to it.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's acidic too. What if you have really soft baby skin?
What if you have yeah, what if
An
you have
allergy.
yeah, then you're done.
Yeah, it's Hogwarts. I need to talk to you before I send my child. Thanks.
It's like, do I include that on the enrollment form? Why haven't I gotten an enrollment form?
Is there
Okay.
like allergies and like stuff like that? Those important things.
Luckily for
Okay,
us, Madame Pomfrey is a champion.
go, Madame Pomfrey. Okay, it's the Slytherins,
Okay,
which we discussed in my car today, which
this is a bad start
it's
for anyone.
concerning.
The first thing you do is you yell a slur at
No,
a
no, no,
wall
no, 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 no. We're jumping far. You go into the dungeons. They've
with the
put them
ooze,
in the dungeons.
with the ooze and the slime.
Yeah, like
That's right.
yeah, like I think they're under the lake.
They are. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so they're under a lake in the dungeon of a castle
With Snape.
with Snape.
With Snape.
With Snape. And I believe their entryway is a wall.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And to get in, you have to shout a slur at the wall.
A racist slur.
Yeah, you're like, what was it? There was mud blood. I just was like, wow. Also, pure blood has been used. That's fine, but it's building. It's building. You know,
Yeah, like
and
it's,
that's just not a good sign, is it? It's
Yeah.
just setting a standard.
yeah, so the password in their second year when Harry and Ron snuck in was pure blood.
Yeah, there you
Like,
go.
come on, guys, really? Does nobody is there nobody vetting these things?
No,
Obviously
what?
not.
No, Dumbledore's too busy giving himself points for weird rules.
But I think while you might have the one of the nicest towers, I think you would struggle getting into your tower sometimes, Jess.
Oh, I would be a wreck all the
So
time.
Ravenclaw get a riddle or a profound question that they must answer before they can get into their common room.
And I am guilty of getting severe hanger and being really tired. I'm not going to answer that question correctly. I'm just going to try and set the whole thing on fire. That's what's going to happen.
She's witty. Let's just be clear. She's witty, not so good on the riddles.
I have my moments. I'll have you know. I have my moments. Okay, but so all that's going to be a misery for the first few weeks.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
going to be depressing. But yeah, you get past that. You get into your common rooms. That's nice. Except you're now surrounded by a bunch of people that you may not even like, and you have to spend the next 7 years with this. Yes, people are changing year by year, but for a majority of them, you're really going to have to make an effort to get along.
And you're gonna have to share a dorm room with some of these people. Like, we see. I don't know about boys, but I know girls can get really bitchy and like get really hung up on the smallest things.
I don't know how Lavender Brown and Hermione made it through.
Yeah, because we were talking about this once again today. We're pretty sure in Harry Potter is what you see is what you get in their year. These kids were born during a war, so there probably was only about 10 Gryffindors in Harry's year, meaning that they all would have shared dorm rooms. And yeah, Hermione and Lavender would have shared a dorm room in 6th year when Lavender was dating Ron.
Oh gosh, I can't even begin to imagine the tension.
But I'm just thinking, like, nobody gets involved if there's a fight. Ron and Harry have a huge fight in 4th year. Nobody gets involved, and they continue to share a bedroom. Like, that could have gone so badly.
I feel like you have to ignore it. I feel like that's the thing. I mean, what else can you do?
There's no school counsellor.
Where is the school counsellor? I would like to know.
Yeah.
Because I can't see Snape being very warming and welcoming. Some girl gets her period for the first time. She has to go to the medical wing, and Snape's like, "Where are you going?"
Yeah, like, it's midnight. Like, you've woken up and there's blood everywhere. It's like, a horrible thing. Sorry, guys, but it's the truth.
Yeah. And this girl gets up to go, and Snape's like, "You cannot go," and she's like, "Meh." Next thing you know, Snape's like, "Oh, go,
Just go,
run,
please.
run."
Just like, oh, fine. No house points are getting taken. No detentions. Just go.
He just mutters 5 points to Slytherin.
To Slytherin. Okay. Right.
She's
but
having a rough day.
she's having a rough night.
Yeah.
Okay, but so we've we're lucky. We've made it to our common rooms, and, a couple of our dorm mates are okay. We could make friends with these people, and, maybe one of them's from the Wizarding World, and they can fill us in on this crazy, amazing world.
That or those tiny sadists will lie to you.
That's true. Kids are terrible. But you know what? Once you settle in, and in this modern world, these 11-year-olds are going to have to deal with a lack of technology. No phones at Hogwarts.
That's
Sorry, kids.
Disgusting. Okay, so what do they expect? If you're a parent, what do they expect you to do?
This is where I was going.
Rely on an owl?
Rely on an owl. This is exactly where I was going. Because the kid's fine. Think about it. Like, they settle in. There might be some homesickness and all that, but, they're going to get through it. Kids are tough.
Oh, look, some kids are, but I've met some really sensitive little ones.
Yeah, but you're hoping. Okay, we're hoping they're coping. But now we got to go to the parents. And communication with your child is now by owl.
First off, I'm a little afraid of owls. I like them from pictures.
Don't want to come face to face with one.
I'm just scared. They've got nippy little beak bits, and I've got soft and sensitive skin, and I don't bode well with the idea of being bitten. So I've got to try and attach a piece of paper to this horrible nippy owl that magically knows where to go. Like, I'm stressed.
And if you're living, in like the city or something, and this owl just turns up, you'd hope they'll be subtle enough to know maybe I should come and drop this letter off of a night time. But you know, maybe you're sitting on your balcony and talking across the balcony to your neighbour Mitzi.
Sue, Mitzi, yeah.
Sue and Mitzi, they're a lovely lesbian couple that live next door.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you're just having a nice afternoon chat. And this owl just turns up with a scroll attached to it or an envelope and just sort of sits there. And you try to ignore it because you don't want them to think you're weird.
Are you kidding me?
And this owl is like nipping you and squawking and throwing a fit because you won't take the letter.
And of course, Mitzi kind of thinks it's cool, but Sue's like, what the hell is going on here?
There's some questions.
Because Sue is a gynecologist and Sue thinks that you're already quite weird.
What does that mean, being a gynecologist?
I'm giving... No, but like she's just a gynecologist. She's a smart lady. She knows what's going on. Mitzi's also smart, but Mitzi's a bit more quirky. Mitzi's a freelance designer.
Okay.
And I would just take the scroll like it was nothing and read it and be like, yeah, this is my new hobby.
Yeah, carrier owls.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the new pigeon. Right. So let's say you're limited probably, I'd say, letters getting up and down the country. I think it would take 3 days at like best to get a letter from Scotland, which is somewhere in the Hogwarts, which is in the Scottish Highlands somewhere, down to say London.
Mm-hmm.
So at best you're getting 2 letters a week to your kid, and you would get learning things like, hey, we don't learn literature or maths or biology. We don't really have a physical education program. We ride broomsticks for a couple of months maybe, learning how to ride a broom.
There's a giant squid here, Mum.
There's a giant squid. There is a tree that hits people. Staircases that change and stairs that go missing.
And we're surrounded by something called the Forbidden Forest, which is where you go for detention.
Yeah, and the lake is called the Black Lake.
Mm-hmm.
There is a scary half-giant living in the grounds. There is Filch, the angry caretaker that threatens to beat you and hang you up by your thumbs.
And the potions master might be a vampire, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, he's a pretty scary bloke.
By the way, vampires are real.
Yeah, and werewolves. Like, get with the program, Mum. But it is quite concerning.
Yeah, I would be worried. I would have I would have feelings about all of this.
Yeah, it's kind of worrying. And do they have a reporting system for injuries?
Probably not. You get a message one day going, yep, little Mary has broken her arm. Well, she hasn't even broken it. She's smashed it to smithereens, and we've actually had to replace the whole thing.
Yeah, with magic.
With magic. I would be catching a plane to Scotland. I would be catching a plane to Scotland. I would be like, what fresh hell is my child in?
But yeah, you'd want, like, and they don't see much of their kids, so they go on the 1st of September, and then they can go home at Christmas break, which apparently most students do. So that's, let's say, probably get to leave on the 20th of December or thereabouts.
Yeah, it's about a week break.
Yeah, and then you spend Christmas and New Year and then go back to Hogwarts. You are then at Hogwarts until June.
Easter. No, they can go home at Easter.
They can go home at Easter? We
Yeah, I
weren't sure
checked
about
that.
that. You checked it? So, they can go home at Easter and June. So that is not a lot of time, though, seeing your kids. Like, Easter break's 2 weeks, I believe. Christmas is probably 2 weeks. And then they've got summer, which is 3 months, and that's probably why the parents don't care after 3 months.
Their summer is 9 weeks.
9 weeks. There we go. So after 9 weeks, you get to send the kid back.
Oh, lucky us, because by that time they'll be pulling newts out of their pockets. Yeah.
But there's not a lot of seeing your child, which I don't know. As a kid,
It's a blessing.
As a kid, I would have found that hard.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not like you can just pick up the phone and call them like you could in the Muggle world.
No, but you're distracted by magic.
And for the parent, you can't just pick up a phone and call your child if you're missing them.
Which is concerning, because you're a parent.
Which is concerning because you're a parent. Just so you know, Jess and I, we are not parents. We do not know how this feels to be a parent separated from your child like this. I suppose...
But I miss the kids.
You miss the kids you work with. I suppose for someone like Molly Weasley, this would actually be a good thing, especially once Ginny goes to school, because like all her kids are out of the house. She just gets to chill out.
Oh gosh, yeah, that'd be great.
But
okay, but we've gone off topic. Sorry, guys. We'll bring it back a minute. So you're at Hogwarts. You can get all kinds of injured. You go to the hospital wing. You're sent home. No one even writes an accident report. Okay. Now back to things that Muggleborns would find confronting and scary. You're walking down the hallway and then Peeves appears, or any ghost appears. Yeah. That would be enough to send me to the hospital wing twice a day. Like, that would be enough.
Just nearly had this Nick coming out of the wall. Oh, hello, how are you?
Pulls the head off. I'm just gagging in a corner somewhere. Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, Peeves is terrible. Like, so poltergeists, obviously are spirits of, I need to do my research, but they're a kind of spirit that is able to touch and affect the world around them. I believe Peeves in particular with Rowling was a symbol of teen angst, and he was built off teen angst, and that's how he survived. And, so he appears during set times when Harry is quite distressed. This is not helping!
No,
having a poltergeist while you're already distressed is not helping your situation.
That is aggravating it.
I don't know why Dumbledore keeps him around. 10 points to Dumbledore.
Why does Dumbledore do anything?
Yeah, we need to talk about his staff choices at a later date.
We really do. Okay, so you've got all of this. Ghosts, poltergeists.
Disappearing stairs, that's what really freaks me out.
The stairs moving is also
a
bit of a worry. How often do you think first years get lost?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
Like, all the time. I think it was a thing in the first book where it was their second week when Harry and Ron finally made it somewhere, I think, to breakfast without getting lost.
See, I just feel like you'd need to send out a search party every day.
That's why the prefects are really patrolling, looking for the lost students.
Well, that would make sense. But also, during Harry's first year at the thing, he was like, the Forbidden Forest is forbidden. Of course that's going to make me want to go. But then he's like, the third corridor is also forbidden. Are you kidding me? That's the first place I'm going to go.
Yep, you and I are going to go looking to see what is in the third corridor.
What makes it so forbidden?
Yeah, I mean, it's a corridor. And as Muggleborns, what's so scary about a corridor?
And also, why are you keeping things in school that will guarantee anyone a painful death?
Yes. Yes.
I get that it's secure, but this is a bunch of prying teenagers.
Yes. You've got kids, like, where is the health and safety inspector here?
You're in the Scottish Highlands. There's nothing else to do but tempt death. Of course you're going to go looking.
Of course.
I don't know about that.
No.
And if this all wasn't bad enough, you've got portraits yelling at you, left, right and centre.
Yes, the portrait's telling you off or telling you things. I think Sir Cadogan would be quite confronting as, like, 11-year-old. He's funny by the time you're 13, but when you're, like, 11 and he's, like, screaming and going to fight you, I would think, going into this magical world, I'll be like, oh, crap, this guy's going to jump out of the portrait and kill me.
It probably would. I personally am a fan of the portrait of Elizabeth Burke, whom I've already told you about.
Yes.
And Elizabeth Burke was a headmistress back in the 15th, 16th century, and she was a Slytherin. And she was very, very pure blood, that race dividing,
Yes.
all of that, class dividing, really. I think that would be alarming as a muggle-born.
Where is her portrait? Because obviously there's one in Dumbledore's office, but where's the other one?
I believe she hung out near the Slytherin. Near the Slytherin dungeons.
Okay. But yes, so I want to just briefly touch on the teachers.
Here we go.
And how confronting that would be. Like, Snape would be very confronting, particularly for a Gryffindor, because we all know he was very biased against Gryffindors in particular.
Mm-hmm.
Depending what year you're in, who knows what you're going to get for Defense Against the Dark Arts. As we know, the track record from 1991 until 1996, excluding Lupin, of course, but the rest of the teachers were horrendous.
It's a little shady.
Yeah.
And Dumbledore doesn't seem to mind.
No.
No. And there's an alarming staff turnover rate, is what I will say.
Yeah, like Kettleburn, who Hagrid replaced. I have read that he had lost pretty much all his limbs and they were magically replaced. Like,
oh, goody gumdrops. What are they teaching the kids?
With wooden ones that have to be replaced frequently because he likes dragons.
Oh, concerning.
I think we will definitely have a chat about him one episode. I'll put a note in because I think that'll be a very good topic about Kettleburn and his wooden limbs.
Yeah, lots of people with interesting limbs. But, yeah, so the teachers would be confronting and concerning.
McGonagall turns into a cat.
Which is going to be unsettling the first time you see it.
Especially if you like cats and you see her as a cat and just approach. You've seen that comic My Life as a Background Slytherin.
Oh, yeah. I love those.
We'll definitely post that to the Tumblr.
The best pud. Yes. Oh, dear. Okay, so you've got McGonagall, who turns into a cat. Snape, who is a dungeon bat. You've got Binns, who died one day and just kept going to work. Yeah. That's going to be weird.
That's commitment, can I just say?
That is commitment.
I think that's what most employers would like in this modern era.
Yeah, but Sprout seems legitimately nice.
I think Sprout would be good. Sprout seems to be awesome and, like, level.
Yeah. And Flitwick is good. Flitwick is good. Professor Trelawney might be one to
watch out for.
To shake the children up.
you wouldn't see much of her unless you take divination. She does tend to stick to her tower, which is probably a good thing.
Yep, she's the tower bat.
Tower bat. I think she's more of an insect with those giant glasses.
A little bit. Let's not shame her. Let her have her glasses. # she's beautiful.
She's gorgeous. I love Emma Thompson.
Oh, she's perfect. All right, so you've got all these. Now let's talk about the next most horrible thing. These kids have to lug around parchment and quills. Okay, I read a fantastic post where someone was discussing this and they were like, why can't they have spiral notebooks and pens? And they made a fantastic point that sums up Hogwarts. They were like, as a parent, I would write in going, I am not making my Abby carry around 50 pieces of parchment just to keep up with your aesthetic and your theme.
Inkwells as well.
Yeah. And the response was aesthetic or death. And that sums up Hogwarts.
Yes.
Considering there's a lack of, safety fences as well.
Yes. So Jess and I are, if we haven't mentioned already, in Australia. And in Australia, there's a huge thing about safety fences around bodies of water because we have a ridiculous drowning rate for children. And so, if you've got a pool, you have to have a fence that meets Australian standards. No fence around the lake.
None around the Forbidden Forest.
No fence by the Whomping Willow.
That is a worry.
The Whomping Willow is a particular worry, as I do believe Lupin said when they were kids, people at school would try to see who could touch the trunk, and one of the kids lost an eye.
Was that Mad Eye?
No, it wasn't. Somebody Davis, I believe. I'll have to look it up.
Now he's a pirate.
He's a pirate.
Yep.
So, yes, physical fitness and education at Hogwarts, there is none of that.
Excuse me, it's handled by walking up and down the stairs all day. To get anywhere, it's like a bloody hike.
Nutrition, I'm questioning. I don't hear much about healthy food from Harry. A lot of it sounds a bit questionable. There's a lot of like treacle tart and pudding.
I don't think I'd ever want to try a pumpkin pasty.
I would try it once. And if I like it, obviously I'll eat it again, but I'd have to do it for the experience.
I don't think they only serve pudding for tea.
No, but if you're an 11-year-old kid, you're only going to pick the pudding, aren't you?
No, I don't eat pudding. I would pick chicken and potatoes and gravy. But, like, I can see how other people might pick pudding, and that is a worry. But I hope they're more sensible than that.
They're an 11-year-old. They're not going to be sensible.
Yeah, probably not. I'll accept that. But if you got someone like Percy Weasley at your table, then you're going to have somebody to kind of make you eat your potatoes.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. Like, I suppose like a prefect could make you eat your vegetables. Maybe McGonagall comes around. Yeah, but overall, if there's no one watching you, I'm going to eat the freaking pudding when I was 11. Now I wouldn't. Now I'd be going for like, the low fat. I don't think there's anything low fat there. Or
no, I'm sure there is.
I don't think they're about the diet conscious anorexic teen.
No, but I do think that the prefects are there in part to stop the kids from eating the silly things. I do think that that's considered a responsibility. Prefects are like the unpaid babysitters and whatnot of Hogwarts, if you think about it. If we're real for a second. And the house elves would have to serve up nutritional food.
Yeah. Maybe it's one thing Dumbledore does right. Maybe he says nutritional food must be served.
All right, so let's sum this up a little bit. You've just sent your child to a death trap of a school with moving stairs.
In Scotland.
In Scotland. And beyond that, there are no fences for safety. The food is questionable. The teachers have issues and probably no police checks. I mean, look at Snape and his background. Jesus. And they hired Lockhart. Enough said.
Definitely. There's questionable physical education. Yes, they walk upstairs, but there is nothing encouraging them to do extracurricular exercise.
Except for Quidditch, death ball.
Death ball. I think we will do a huge conversation on death ball and how I think I'd be good at it.
Oh, no.
But yes, Hogwarts, it's funny because as a kid, when I read these books, I thought Hogwarts would be the most amazing place to go.
Oh, yeah. I still want to go, but I wouldn't send my kids.
I still want to go, but as a parent, I would have some serious questions that I would be asking, like, can I see the school first? Can I do an inspection?
Are you kidding? Yeah, I would be like, sorry, I'm forming a parent committee.
Yeah, like, forget the governors. They're all, like, purebloods and, yeah.
Not very helpful.
Not very helpful. They're run by Lucius Malfoy.
Wearing their poncy little ribbons.
Yeah, but, I would like, monthly parent-teacher interview. Like, I would fly up to Scotland every month to see my kid and their teachers and see how they're going. At that time, they shall report to me any injuries, no matter how good their matron is at fixing them.
I would supply, what's it called when you tap it and it sends you a telegraph? I'd send a telegraph machine. Oh, no, wait, that's not right. Okay.
Well, like Morse code.
Yeah, and they can just tap me from a very long distance.
I wonder if that fits into the whole technology doesn't work in Hogwarts.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That qualifies, or if that would be okay.
Oh gosh, look, the long and short of it is I'm clearly going to have to move to Scotland.
Yeah, move to Hogsmeade, like, come on, I've got to see my kid and I've got to make sure they're okay because this school is so questionable.
But I would go myself if somebody gave me the option.
Oh yeah, my kid's not going, but I'm going.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect. We've sorted the issue.
Yeah.
We're not Muggle-borns anyways, not really. There we go.
No, we're pure blood.
Alright. Are we? Didn't know we were Slytherins today. Okay.
You can be pure blood in another house.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's a little bit shady.
But
alrighty.
Moving on from this, I think we should do a character shout out to people from Hogwarts, like a character we really think should be brought to light here. And without any hesitation, I'm saying Madame Pomfrey, because
Absolutely.
she takes care of those kids
No
so
matter
well.
what happens.
No matter what happens. She doesn't question it. Like, Hermione turns up as a cat.
And she's like, it's cool.
Cool.
This is fine.
I'm going to fix you. Like, there's no repercussions.
Yep. And just imagine all the spells that have gone wrong.
Oh, yeah. Engorgio.
on both young ladies and young men.
On both, yes.
Love
Definitely.
potions, probably.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Oh, dear.
And she just takes it all in her stride. So, shout out to Madame Pomfrey.
We love you so much. No one would ever get through without you.
Yeah.
All right, excellent.
So, Jess,
Yes.
I think we should move on to a discussion about the fan base, because, as we've said before, it is the fans, people like you, me, anyone who's listening to this, all the people who do amazing fan art, fan movies, fan music, fan fiction, all those things that make the Harry Potter fandom so much greater. And I think it's going to be a regular segment where we talk about these things that make the fan base so amazing.
And we will absolutely be sharing all our favourite stuff. For example, I know you are super into the films, like Severus and the Marauders. And I mean, I'm into like a Harry Potter musical.
Yes,
And,
I need to finish that.
Yeah. And I'm also into Wizard Rock, and we're both into trashy fan fiction.
Oh, give me the fan fiction. And the little comics you get on Tumblr and Facebook
fantastic.
and everything. Like we've mentioned My Life as a Background Slytherin, which is definitely one of my favourites. I love it whenever it pops up on my Facebook. I run for it.
Absolutely. And without these things, the world would be dead. We're so lucky that we can expand on the whole thing, and we're so lucky that we have access to everybody else's expansions and to their interpretations of what's going on.
Exactly. And there is the world of Harry Potter, the greater wizarding universe that Rowling has created, gives so much space to be creative and to create your own stories. Like I know you do play-by-post role-play in the Harry Potter world.
I am that trash. It is true.
I think it's fantastic. Like it's
it's fantastic. But it's sometimes I'm like, what am I doing? But it's awesome. It's awesome, and the people I do it with, you have that shared passion.
Exactly.
It's just wonderful.
And that's the great thing also has been I share the passion. Like I told you today, I've had the idea of doing a Harry Potter podcast in my head for a while, but I needed somebody with me to do this, to come on this journey with me, to bounce off and like speak to and help me think of Harry Potter in a different way.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll take this journey with you. And
Yes.
it's funny because you think of it in so much more of an analytical way. You look at the themes, you look at the overarching stories, and you really take the characters and you can analyze them deeply. Whereas I'm like, how do I feel?
Yes.
What do I like?
Exactly, and I think that works well. A huge shout out to all the fans out there. However you express your fanniness. Show us, tell us. So I love cosplay as well. There's some amazing cosplays out there who I'll definitely be shouting out to in future fan segments.
And please, just we want everybody to bring us what they do so that we can talk about you and how great you are, and so that we can share you with everybody else.
Yes, because we've set up a Tumblr and a Twitter and a Facebook. The details will be at the end of the show. And those we want to support and share anybody else who's doing anything Harry Potter related. That includes Fantastic Beasts. That includes things that are just inspired by Harry Potter. As long as there's a clear link, we will support it and push it and show everybody, because we just think it is so great, and as a fandom we need to support each other. And
Unless you're a Slither nerd.
No, we are non-discriminatory here. I am open to Slytherin. If you do not want to talk to Jess, you can just like put on your email subject attention to Mel, and
Please.
I will read it and I
everybody
will be
wants to talk to
supportive.
me. I love you all, giant nerds.
Yes.
Anyways, we will talk absolutely more about it and more specifically in future, all the different things we love. So please feel free to just start sending us things, give us some more ideas for the future.
Definitely.
I think we have a game to play.
Yes, we do. So as we discussed this podcast, sitting together having lunch, we thought there should be something fun and weird that we should do. And we came up with the concept of random ships.
Oh dear.
Yes, so dear indeed. It's a pretty simple concept. Each podcast, each week, based on the topic we've talked about, we will take a collection of characters. So if we were talking about a specific house, we'll take characters from that house. If we're talking about a specific area of Harry Potter, we'll take it from there, or an era. And Jess and I will count down from 3. And at the same time, we will say a character's name, and we would then have to try and make a pairing out of the 2 characters we say.
We have to work out how their pairing would work.
Yeah. Time turners are a thing, apparently, if needs come to musts. So today we're going to do any character that has ever attended Hogwarts. So it's a broad spectrum, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Jess, do you have a character?
Oh, I do. The good thing is we don't give each other any hints.
No.
We don't say what gender we've picked. We don't say what age or what era. We just go for it.
Yep.
So if it's completely morally wrong, I apologise.
Yep, but we're going to try and make it work anyway.
Okay, yeah, we'll do our best. All right,
Yep.
I've got one if you're ready.
I'm ready. So
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Minerva
Draco Malfoy. Ooh.
So we
Ooh.
said Draco Malfoy and Minerva McGonagall.
And I could feel Dame Maggie Smith glaring at me.
Yeah, this was a bad plan.
Okay, I've got it.
Okay.
All right. So there you are.
There you are.
Well, not you, but there's McGonagall.
There's
And
McGonagall.
she's like super chill in her emerald robes.
And Draco's like, I like green.
Yeah, he is. So he's eyeing her up from the back. And then she turns around and he realizes it's McGonagall. But he just rolled up his shirt as well. So he's showing off them biceps.
Oh.
So she has a brief moment. And then they're both completely traumatized. Glare at each other and part ways, never to speak of the moment again. But they had a moment.
They had a moment and that counts. That is a ship. They had a moment. It was a moment in time.
And now we will burn that ship like it's a Viking funeral.
Yep, that one can go down. Man the cannons and blast it.
See you later.
Yeah,
That is bad.
That is bad. But moving on, our last topic, tying in with boarding school at Hogwarts, our what if for the week is, what if Hogwarts had a day option? So this sort of came from the Japanese school that Rowling has told us about. And the students are taken by bird from the age of 7 to school and back every day.
I see benefits except for the birds.
Well, maybe, hey, it's England. Maybe they use flu powder. You, flu your child off every day.
Okay, yeah, all right, fair. Or there are apparition... No, they don't really apparate with children, do they? Okay.
Well, some do, but it depends. It depends. I mean, you couldn't do it as...
Portkeys.
Portkeys, yeah. Definitely, that's an option. And this can alleviate some of the parental concerns.
Yeah, it would alleviate my parental concerns. Okay, I think it would be beneficial in the first year, detrimental in the last years.
Yes.
You need to be there. You need to be surrounded by your peers. You need to have the opportunity to socialise and to bond and to really get included in the world, I feel.
Yeah.
It really is about immersion, isn't it?
Yeah, especially because what we see is they become part of the wizarding world. You don't see them just go back to being in a muggle life after they've graduated Hogwarts. You feel that they really assimilate, even if they're muggle-born or half-blood or pure-blood, they go into that wizarding society and stick around.
Absolutely. And I think that making those relationships is obviously such a big thing. And it also allows them to to practice and to bounce ideas off each other and to learn a little something, I feel.
Yes.
And, they form these relationships. They take those into their work environment. They they've got these contacts now, and I think think it's really valuable.
And it'll be beneficial for studying, because all good and well, because you come home and your parents are like, you go and study now. But I think it's better at Hogwarts because, it's not going to be, oh, we're going to soccer this weekend. Oh, we're doing this weekend. You're at Hogwarts. So, part of your weekend's for studying. You study after school in your common room or at the library.
Well, what is there to do in Hogwarts but nearly risk your life? So you just study so you're safe.
Study for safety.
Yeah. No one's going to kill you in the library.
Yeah. But I definitely think it would be a good option for the first year or two. And I think it would also be good as an option to get kids home, so they're not separated from their families for so long, weekend trips home and stuff like that, you get in real boarding schools. Sorry, but not real, muggle boarding schools.
Yeah, but I do also see a benefit for some children to stay at the school. I mean, the Weasleys, it's probably better for them.
Better for Molly.
Yeah, and also for Draco Malfoy. I think it was much better for him.
Okay, I think
he got a bit of separation from his family.
But he was surrounded by Slytherins. I think that's going to be a good topic to talk about in the future when we talk about...
Why Draco is the way he is.
Yeah, when we do a character study of Draco, I definitely think we should bring that back up about what influence it had being away from his family while he was at school for 7 years.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Harry it's definitely beneficial. He's a lot better off at Hogwarts than with the Dursleys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's an interesting thought as an option, especially for kids with separation anxiety from their families, to give them that slower breakaway.
Yeah.
No.
And I do get that they stick to tradition. I do. But, yeah.
I think time to modernise Hogwarts.
Is it?
That's...
Yeah. Yep. Next step, Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Yes, we'll definitely talk about that. But I think, yeah, definitely something Hogwarts should look into. Day options.
Be good for me.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think that wraps us up on our first ever podcast.
Yeah, definitely. It was good fun.
And I hope they want to tune back into us. So, Mel, do you want to let them know how they're going to find us?
Yes. So, we are on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and Pinterest, all under Which Weekly Podcast.
Yes, Pinterest.
Yes, I set that up a little while ago. And you can also email us at whichweeklypodcast@gmail.com. And we look forward to hearing from you.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks.